Tonight is the night that Impact Wrestling will be rebranding back into TNA Wrestling at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, but reportedly, TNA has multiple signings that will be revealed soon. We've also got an update on Alex Hammerstone's status with TNA Wrestling, now that he's going to be competing tonight at the pay-per-view as well. Plenty of details on that. Plus, Trent Seven is a new TNA signing, but he is off tonight's pay-per-view because of travel issues. We'll let you know more details about that. TNA has been unveiling its new championship belts over the last week or so. We've got the first look at the Knockouts Championship. Speaking of championships and speaking of people that have been former champions, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, they are no longer heels in WWE, reportedly being listed internally as babyfaces on the internal roster. We've got an injury update on Charlotte Flair as well as Sonya Deville as they battle back from knee problems, and another update on Jim Ross's contract with All Elite Wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about TNA Wrestling. Of course, it's the big night that Impact Wrestling rebrands and reverts back to TNA Wrestling. TNA Wrestling will begin a new era at TNA Hard to Kill tonight, as the company will officially rebrand at the pay-per-view. According to a new report, the company has been working on multiple signings. Some of them are booked for this buzzworthy weekend. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful via Fightful Select reports that some upcoming signings will likely be announced in the coming weeks. Sapp has also written that some of these signings have been booked for this weekend. TNA Hard to Kill will be on Saturday today, followed by the Snake Eyes taping on Sunday. Of course, both are taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, TNA Wrestling President Scott D'Amore previously teased that a major signing would be revealed at TNA Hard to Kill. He noted that they were close to finalizing one of the biggest signings in the history of the company. As of right now, no reports have been put out there as to who this mystery person is. Of course, we get any more details or anything big happens tonight at Hard to Kill, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, one person that people have been asking about whether or not they have signed a contract with TNA Wrestling is former MLW World Heavyweight Champion Alex Hammerstone. He's set to compete at Hard to Kill tonight. There, he's going to face off against Josh Alexander, a former Impact World Champion. Hammerstone hit free agency on January 1st, and Sapp writes that as of last week, Hammerstone has not signed a full-time deal with the company. However, he noted that there have been discussions about the possibility of Hammerstone putting pen to paper. Would you like to see the former MLW star sign a contract with TNA Wrestling? And who do you think this mystery huge signing is that Scott D'Amore has teased that we could see tonight at Hard to Kill? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, as I mentioned, one signing recently was the signing of former WWE NXT UK star Trent Seven, but he's off the pay-per-view tonight. A change has been made to the TNA Tag Team Championship match at TNA Hard to Kill due to travel issues. TNA Wrestling has announced that Trent Seven will not be able to make it to Las Vegas to compete for the TNA Tag Team Championships alongside Speedball Mike Bailey. Replacing him will be Laredo Kid. Kid will team with Bailey against ABC, that being Ace Austin and Chris Bay, the grizzled young veterans, that being James Drake and Zach Gibson, and the Rascals, that being Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, in a match to determine who will lead the next generation of TNA Wrestling tag teams. So it would appear that Trent Seven is off. We get any more details on the travel issues involved, we'll let you know in a future video. Speaking of TNA Wrestling, speaking of titles, you can see on the screen right there are brand new TNA World Tag Team titles. There is also a brand new TNA Knockouts World Championship. You can see it on the screen right there, but it's going to be quite interesting to see who's holding it coming out of the pay-per-view tonight. Fans have caught a glimpse of the new TNA Knockouts World Championship, which will be defended by Trinity at tonight's Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Trinity has held the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Championship since Slammiversary last year, where she dethroned Deonna Purrazzo. Trinity currently has 4 successful title defenses to her name. In a video shared on social media, TNA President Scott D'Amore spoke about Trinity being an amazing representative of the Knockouts division. D'Amore then presented Trinity with the brand new TNA Knockouts World Championship bout. Trinity was delighted with the new title and called it beautiful. The new title, as you can see, features a white strap, which is seemingly a nod to the original TNA Knockouts Championship, which was introduced in 2007. The title also features the new TNA Wrestling logo, which will be used on branding moving forward. As for what's next for Trinity, she's set to defend the new TNA Knockouts World Championship at Hard to Kill against former champion Jordan Grace. A title change could possibly be in the works this evening, as it's been reported that Trinity will be finishing her tenure with TNA Wrestling at the next set of television tapings. The former WWE star is rumored to be making a return to WWE as part of the Women's Royal Rumble match that's going to be taking place at the end of this month. Trinity, then known as Naomi, walked out of WWE alongside Mercedes Moné, then known as Sasha Banks, in May 2022 over a difference with the company's creative plans for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Moné would join New Japan Pro Wrestling in January of last year, though her tenure with the promotion has since ended and was blighted by injury, despite the fact she did win the IWGP Women's Championship. So, what are your thoughts when it comes to the Knockouts World Championship tonight? What are your thoughts when it comes to the design of the new TNA Knockouts Championship? What are your thoughts when it comes to the new designs for all of the TNA titles? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, switching to WWE, some interesting news when it comes to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. 3 stars on the SmackDown brand are now listed as babyfaces on the internal roster after previously working as heels for the last few months. According to PW Insider, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, are now listed as babyfaces during their ongoing feud with Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. Lashley and the Profits were last seen on SmackDown on Friday, with Lashley addressing Kross and AOP. Lashley said their opponents were in a fight they can't win and told Kross and the tag team to come to the ring to settle their issues. Instead, Paul Ellering appeared on the ramp and introduced a video from Kross and Scarlett, which aimed to put Lashley and the Profits on notice, as well as introduce AOP and Ellering to not just Lashley, Dawkins and Ford, but to all of the fans who may not be familiar with their previous WWE run as well. Lashley and the Profits had previously been working as heels. Lashley joined up with the tag team back in September after taking time off TV post-WrestleMania. Their journey together hasn't always been smooth, with Lashley often pushing the Profits to their limits following their defeats. Lashley has announced he will be entering the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match, but Dawkins and Ford have yet to declare. Now, speaking of WWE superstars, we've got some injury updates on 2 stars that are currently out of action with knee problems. Of course, it was well documented towards the end of last year that Charlotte Flair suffered a devastating knee injury, which could put her out of action until close to the end of this year. Now, when it comes to her recovery, after a while, she couldn't go undergo surgery straight away because of the holidays. PW Insider is now reporting that Charlotte Flair is now home following her knee surgery and initial rehab in Birmingham, Alabama. If all goes well, she could be back by the fall of this year, that being 2024. So again, it's expected maybe September, October time, but she has a long road ahead when it comes to her recovery. Now, someone else in the women's division that suffered a knee injury last year was Sonya Deville. Now, Sonya Deville was seen last week in Birmingham, Alabama as well, and was at the Performance Center the last several days too. She is recovering from an ACL tear suffered in August, so seemingly she's on the road to recovery. We don't really know any more details about when she's going to be back. As I mentioned, just a PW Insider report suggests that she was seen in Birmingham last week, as well as at the Performance Center of the last couple of days. Now, could that be for clearance? Certainly, possibly, or it could just be part of her recovery, just checking in with everyone to see how her recovery goes. If we get any more details about Sonya Deville, we'll let you know. Finally, a bit more information when it comes to good old JR Jim Ross and his future in All Elite Wrestling. This past Wednesday, Jim Ross made a one-night-only return to AEW Dynamite called the Tornado Tag Team Main Event that pitted Sting and Darby Allin against the Don Callis family's Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs. The legendary announcer has been off AEW programming since November, having only appeared since this past Wednesday and last month when Dynamite was held in his home state of Oklahoma in order to allow some lingering injuries and health problems to heal. Amidst his absence, Ross's current AEW contract is said to be close to expiring. Last July, he admitted on his podcast that he doesn't have a lot of time left on his current contract and went into further detail a month later where he discussed his optimism about signing a new deal with the company. Now, after a few months of silence on the matter, a new update has come to light on good old JR's AEW status. Writing in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reports that Ross has signed a short-term extension with the company after his previous deal, which lasted a year and a half, expired a few months ago. The extension will keep Ross with AEW until February 14th, something that Ross had mentioned previously, with Meltzer speculating that the move was notable given that it was signed when the company already knew Ross would not be absent for the majority of its length. Ross has been with AEW since early 2019 as both a commentator and senior advisor, though he has become far less active on screen ever since suffering a fall prior to the debut episode of AEW Collision last June. Ross still appeared on the show, but announced afterward he would be taking a hiatus. He's since made sporadic appearances to provide commentary for various main events across Dynamite, Collision, and pay-per-views, but has yet to make a full-time return to the promotion. So, once again, we get any more information on Jim Ross's contract, if he's going to be sticking around, we'll let you know. He has expressed his will and desire to call Sting's final match in professional wrestling at AEW Revolution, which seemingly would be after the expiration of his contract, but we'll let you know if we get any more details on the future of the Hall of Famer in AEW. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.